I was young when I had Leon. Everything was okay for a while, but then after Leon's father was not happy.
He was rather aggressive, emotionally and verbally 100%, but then I didn't know any different. Him and my mother didn't get along at all, so they were constantly fighting. And then ultimately, they split up. She remarried, I was about 13. During that time, I started to rebel a little bit more. So then I started noticing that me and my mom started having a lot of friction.
It didn't matter what I said or what we did or the counselors. He was feeling empty.
I had a lot of anger because of my father. I started drinking at 14 and smoking weed at 14 and 13.
I felt like my world was shattering.
I met Nicole. We started dating pretty seriously pretty soon, and then within 3 or 4 months, she was pregnant. We were 20 when we had Leon. We were doing pretty good for the first couple years of his life. A couple years later, we had Marcus, my second son, and then right after we had Marcus, she got pregnant again with my third son, Brent. 2012 is when I hurt myself. I blew out my lumbar and I needed surgery. I was pretty much bedridden for about a year, and I was taking 240 milligrams of Roxycontin a day with 120 milligrams of Oxycontin a day with 30 milligrams of methadone a day. That's what the doctor had me on. I was also, at that time too, using cocaine and sometimes more pills because I didn't have my pills because I was started to abuse them. I didn't really know I wasn't fine until I started slipping deep into depression. I was contemplating suicide, and I went and talked to somebody, and they sent me to a behavioral health center.
It was the very first time he came up here.
I spent 6 days on the chapel floor here. I couldn't sleep. I said I'm having anxiety attacks, so I went to the hospital, and then they had told me that I needed a higher level of care, and they kicked me out. And I sat there and I cried. I didn't think I was going to be able to get clean. I just called Nicole and I just broke down. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And then within 6 or 7 months, she was seeing somebody, and then like 3 months after that, she was married. So I wasn't with my kids, and straight back into the depression and straight back into the drugs.
You can hear in his voice, it's just like he had nothing. I told him, I said, if you need to come home, come home.
At first it was great. He was helping around the house, doing stuff, but then he fell back into it where he's doing it, sleeping all day.
So I'm looking up effects of heroin, and I'm like, that's Leon, that's Leon, that's Leon. And I'm looking at my husband, I was like, we have a problem.
By 2018, I hadn't talked to Nicole, and I hadn't talked to the kids for a couple of years at this time. So 2018, I tried to commit suicide. I put myself in a coma for a few days.
When I walked in that room and I saw him hooked up to machines, I just totally fell apart.
We've been trying to help him, and it wasn't working.
I woke up out of the coma and I was pissed that I didn't do it. And the first person I see was this guy, Dr. Berger. He goes, you need to do something. And the first thing I thought was Market Street Mission.
I just thought this is another guy that is now going to take the program seriously. And I didn't see much of a desire to change, to truly change.
My ex-girlfriend, I told her to bring me to Atlantic City, and my mom knew I was getting high again, and I was sitting in the train station in Atlantic City like, what are you gonna do? So I decided to buy a train ticket just to get to Market Street here again. I had to tuck my tail between my legs and ask him, and he says, go down to Jersey Shore and get a fresh start down there.
He finally came to his senses, and he said, it's time to get serious with life.
You could tell there was a change coming, and this place did wonders for him.
I started reading the Bible and I started praying, and then next thing you know, there was some chatter about me being an intern, and then at that moment I realized maybe this is what you need.
I decided to put him in maintenance, and as he came back, I did see somebody different.
I was praying a lot about a relationship with my kids and how God can make that happen. I didn't know how it would happen. Eventually my prayer became for me to reconcile with Nicole, and I called her, and at this time I hadn't talked to her for a couple of years, and I didn't know how that was gonna go down. She didn't want just to allow me into their lives that quickly. A few months had went by, and then she asked me if I wanted to FaceTime the kids. So I gave it time, and I just did it. I just did everything I was supposed to do.
It's a driving force to kind of be able to be back in your children's lives, and you can see that joy
watching Leon interact with his boys. It made my heart so warm.
Everything is handled by God. He's done things in my life that I never thought would ever happen.
I, for one, am somebody who really encourage when someone's walking the walk. Mostly a self-sacrificing spirit, and that's the thing that I would say most about Leon. It's always this above and beyond with him, and he takes care of everything like he's doing it for his own brother.
He's out there living life the right way. He's working. He's got a wonderful career, and he found God.
That's a wonderful thing to see. A man that came from a rough background to now come in and say, I want to love Jesus, right? So to me, that's the greatest thing.
My testimony gives guys hope. God uses me in certain ways that I never thought he would. It's just a wonderful life.
God is real, and God is changing lives. And I've seen miracles in this place all the time. So he's one of them. And I love him, and I just wish him the best, and I hope that he continues to run that race.